Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel today. Today I'm basically scouting for locations, and I'm going over to one of my favorite places here on Cape Ann. It's owned by the Squam Rock Land Trust, and to me it's the pasture. And it's got a lot of cool things to it, but one of them is it's got a lot of granite, and it's called Squam Rock, and I'm going to take you up there. Then we might even take a stroll down to the beach. It's a pretty cool place. We've got some speckled light today. It's moving itself around quite a bit, and you know, I'm not really interested in getting some spectacular photos, but I do have a spectacular lens with me today. I've got the Fujifilm 8-16. My friend Mark Gardner has let me borrow it, and I've had it for quite a while now. I just haven't done a lot with it because, quite honestly, it's too big and it's heavy, and you know, you can't put filters on it very easily. And I've decided that I'm going to do a little comparison with it with my 10-24, which I really love because it's small, it's light, it's perfect to walk around with in my backpack. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hike up to this area here, which is really cool. I'm out of breath. And see what we get. Off we go. We're gonna hike up the hill here, and I'm gonna show you some really cool granite. There's also some really great views of the Annisquam Lighthouse all the way down at the end of the pasture here, and I think you'll see it's a nice walk up here. And wait until you see Squam Rock and the rocks around it. It's really very cool. As you can see, the monolith coming out of the earth here. Look at the size of this. Well, this is a wide angle lens, but when you get up closer to it, you'll see it's amazing. When I was a kid, I used to clamp the top of this thing. In the 20s, they decided to put a ladder up on this side over here. Let's see if I can make it up this slope here safely. They decided to put a ladder up here. Look at that. Why? The other side is so much easier to get up on. And you'll see the finger holes that people have put in the side of this rock way back when. See if I can zero in on them. Right there. There's a hole right in there. Now the other thing about this place is there's a really cool, look at that. It's just a beautiful, beautiful rock. It's not that I'm into rocks, but this is a giant one. But there's this little amphitheater here. And this is where our church comes for sunrise service on Easter. So in a little while, we'll be coming up here for our Easter service. But you can see, it's really very cool. Most enjoyable. Then you can see down into the village. Now, I remember as a kid, I used to slip down this crevasse here and jump onto that rock down below there. There's another great picture right here of these trees and the rock in the background. I'll probably set up right here. Oh, can't wait to take this shot. It's kind of into the sun, so we'll have to worry about the sun. Now, as you can see, probably right through to the Annisquam Lighthouse right from here. So here we are on top of this rock. I've been taking this with the 8-16 and then with the 10-24 and see what we get. But I just wish the light was over that way or over that way. Making this shot at 10mm instead of an 8mm. And I've overweighted a little bit, so everything's kind of going this way. That's not so bad, I don't mind that. And then over here on this side here, I've got a little bit of an open space here, but there's a rock over here somewhere. That's probably too out of the frame, but I've envisioned this as a black and white. So we got the light coming from behind. So you can see how the light is shining on here, but it's coming from up here. This is a 16:9 crop, so you can't see it here. But we're gonna make a shot here because I like the light, and we'll see what happens.
So here's the shot with the 8:16 at f11. And it's pretty nice, you know, I don't see any issues with it. I maybe could have done a little cropping. And here's the black and white converted in Silverfix Pro 2. I much prefer the black and white version of it, of course.
Okay, so what I've done here is I've also shot the same image with my 10-24, and it's a lot easier to get on and off. I really love the way this this lens performs here. This is with the 10-24.
Now here's the shot with the 10-24 at f11. And as you can see, it looks pretty much identical to the 8-16. And here is the conversion over to Silverfix Pro 2. And you know, they're virtually identical. Now, why would I want to go with the 8-16, which is twice as big and much more difficult to handle, instead of the 10-24? Now, this is the original 10-24, not the newer weather-resistant version with the optics, which are exactly the same. Now, this brings up the question of one is supposed to resolve and the other one is not. Well, I can tell you right now that the 10-24 is doing just fine. Now at f4 it may not resolve as well as the 8-16 at f2.8, but I wasn't there to test that. I was there to do some scouting, location scouting for future photographs.
So what I've done here is I've made a shot of the whole rock here with the sun shining on it with some shadows going up to the what's left of the ladder here, I guess. And what I've done is I focused on the ladder right here. I focused on the ladder right here and made a few shots, and kind of like this with the shadows going right up to there, so it's leading you right up to that what's left of that ladder there. It's kind of cool. And then I've also done this at 10 millimeters as well.
This shot here with the 8-16 has a little bit of a problem here in the left-hand corner and the right-hand corner. Maybe you folks can help me figure out why that is. This shot here with the 10-24, it doesn't have that problem. Both done at f8, so I'm not really sure why that happened.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over and shoot a 7300 shot. And remember, this is a scouting trip really for me. Just trying to see how this location might look under different circumstances. Maybe, you know, at sunrise, which is going to be over here, or over there, I should say. It's going to be, it's going to be over there. Sunrise is going to be over there, but sunset is right behind us. And you never know. And we might get, at the right time, you might get some great color in this. I don't know. So let's go and take some pictures of the lighthouse because I know what that looks like. Okay, so this next shot is all the way out here on the 7300, so it's at about 400 millimeters at full frame. And this tripod's kind of jiggly, but you know what? We got a iOS and IBIS going on, so hopefully we should be able to have not a problem with it at all. Let's see what she looks like. Now I've got it in manual focus, and I'm shooting at, let's see, f11, 200th of a second at 125. And I've got the 2-second timer on to make sure there's no jigglies going on.
As you can see, the camera and lens figured out whether or not IBIS or OIS needed to be used, and it's sharp as a tack.
But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to back out a little bit and maybe get some of this scene in front of it. And if I'm pre-visualizing correctly in the snow, which we might get coming up, it might look kind of cool, and I might be running right over here to get a shot of this.
This might be quite interesting with snow on the pine trees in the foreground and the trees around it. It might look kind of cool.
office and take a look at these images in Lightroom and compare the 10 to 24 and see how it did wide open and at f8 to see if it resolved, I should say, see how it resolved. I'm hoping that it did pretty well because I really like that lens. It's nice and small. I'm not going to carry that 8 to 16 around with me. It's just too big, and unfortunately it's difficult to put filters on. You got to buy a whole new filter system to put it on, so I'm not going to deal with that. That's for sure. I wouldn't mind if you like this video, hey, give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe and all that stuff. And remember, it's not what you photograph, it's how you photograph it. And we'll catch you next time.